like country need another one. They like country need another one. Okay, turn me up. They don't wanna smoke, I'm in my bag. Bitch, I'm rolling up. They say that shit hot. Hot, bitch, I'm burning up. Yeah, let's talk some business. Ain't no money, I ain't showing up. Don't know how to act. A bunch of country niggas pulling up. Okay, turn me up. Now they say they want that country shit. Okay, now turn me up. Now they see I be that energy. I make them turn me up. Yeah, I know they tryna finish me, but it just turn me up. Turn me up, Jay. Fresh to death on camouflage. Gotta keep a foot up on their necks cause they might sabotage. I ain't come for peace, I brought the mask, bout to terrorize. Step. If you a hating nigga, keep that bullshit to yourself. Get my bop on you niggas. Don't never question if I'm a real nigga, I get a lot for you niggas. Bitch, they thought I was finished, but I got a lot for you niggas. Lil John on them niggas. I'm the bra on them niggas. I'm the hottest in the business. Okay, put me in the mix. I can tell you used to lame niggas that ain't this. Think you coming up a bag, you ain't getting shit. You say wanna fuck, but now she see a nigga lit. Country for life in this bitch. Okay, turn me up. They don't want no smoke, I'm in my bag. Bitch, I'm rolling up. They say that shit hot. Hot, bitch, I'm burning up. Yeah, let's talk some business. Ain't no money, I ain't showing up. Don't know how to act. A bunch of country niggas pulling up.
YouTube, what's good, guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And tonight's live is going to be on 10 Dynasty BuyLows that I don't think your league mates are talking about. Now, listen, if you're in a savvy league, they could be talking about some of these guys. So, guys, with no further ado, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting-edge content. I said what I said. This is cutting-edge content. So, guys, and also I want to tell you that I'm going to be doing reaction videos. So, I do see people sometimes unsubscribe when I do a reaction video, but I got to grow my brand. So Fantasy Good Sports is bigger than just a normal top 5 and a top 10 list of guys on far as fantasy. I'm going to grow. I'm going to do hockey. I'm going to do soccer. I'm going to do tennis. I'm doing all fantasy sports. And also I'm going to be giving more relevant news. But right now I'm in my growing stages. So I just want to let y'all know the expectations and the mission statement of this channel. So getting on to my Dynasty BuyLows, guys. Getting on to my Dynasty BuyLows. This is what I mean with a Dynasty BuyLow, because a lot of you I might mention players and y'all just kind of not. It's not that, because we're not going to agree on every single player. Not every single one of my subscribers and members. I understand that. But you got to understand the way what makes my channel cutting edge. And I'm not just going to mention guys to be cutting edge just to say, well, I mentioned somebody that nobody else mentioned. No, I'm going to mention guys in a way. When I say buy low, it doesn't mean that they're a great player, but it's a chance to buy low on them. You're not going to risk anything. That's what makes my channel cutting edge. Guys, I don't know everybody that's going to be hit. Now, I'm really good on choosing talent. Guys that I like my top 5, my top 10 must-haves, I'm going to hit probably 70% of those guys. But guys that I'm doing buy low, I hit a lot on those guys because you know what? I understand that guys develop. So I'm giving you guys where people don't want them, but they can develop. If they don't develop, you're not spending a first round or a second round or even a third round draft pick on these guys. So I'm mentioning guys that you can go and buy low on, and if they hit, you're gonna kill it. Because I gotta do is look out through the history of the game. Guys that came in the league, they struggled a little bit, then all of a sudden they started hitting. Right? Look at Austin Eckler. When he first came in the league, he was just a special teams guy. Nobody was really on him, and you could have bought him out of his first year for probably a third round pick or a second round pick. So that's some of the guys that I'm going to mention. So let's start with my number one guy. And my number one guy is going to be Traylor Burs. I see you, Harambe. He said, "What's up, TD?" Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. So my first guy is Traylor Burs. So the reason why that I think Traylor Burs is a buy low, I think a lot of people believe that he's not going to develop into an upper echelon wide receiver. And listen, he may not be, but again, I always tell y'all, because some of y'all are so fixed up. If a guy ain't great, y'all ain't got no time for him. To me, it's kind of like relationships, and I have to be accountable for this. Every woman, if a woman ain't like drop dead gorgeous like a Kim Kardashian, y'all don't got no time for her. And then when she become pretty later on, then no, you got to be able to see potential. This life is about potential. Stocks, opportunities is all potential. Everything ain't gonna be already made. Everything ain't gonna be already Google. Everything ain't gonna be Margot Robbie. So you got to see. Margot Robbie was a Margot Robbie. Go look at Margot Robbie's first movies. She wasn't the most beautiful thing in the world, but she evolved into that by finding her swag or whatever she did, right? Same thing with Kim Kardashian back in the day. So people have to form into that. So that's what I'm talking about, Traylor Burs. Guys, he can develop into a guy that can be a top 28 wide receiver, top 24, and give you some boom weeks, maybe 4 boom weeks for the whole season, which can get you into the playoffs or maybe boom in a championship game and win it for you. And right now, you can buy low on a guy that you probably would have to spend a first-round pick or even 2 a couple years ago. So right now, guys, I believe Traylor Burs is a buy low guy that you can get on your squad and let him develop, and he can have some big plays. He still can run for a 230-pound guy. He still can jump for a 230-pound guy. He's still quick for a 230-pound guy, and his hands is not bad. It's just Tennessee hasn't had quarterbacks in the offensive gurus to help develop him. So let's move on to my number 2 guy. Dollar Bill says, "Goom Squad in the building, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir." Yes, sir. Number 2, Quinton Johnson. Yes, guys, Quinton Johnson. And the reason why, guys, Quinton Johnson is a buy low is because of his draft capital and the type of quarterback that he has on his team. So he has a phenomenal quarterback who can get him the ball. He just needs to develop his skill set of running routes, knowing the professional game. In college, guys, in the Big Ten, I think he played in the Big Ten. Wait a minute. It was Pac-12. Wasn't no corners getting up in his face, challenge him at 6'3", 215 pounds. He was too big. He was too fast. So all he had to do was just run to an open spot, and the quarterback was getting him the ball. Now you got corners that are strong, bigger than you, and they pressing you. So he got to find out how to be athletic, get off the line of scrimmage, and let the quarterback put the ball up where only he can get it. And he has to adjust to that. Now, listen, I think he's going to be better than MVS. Do I think he's going to be a top 12 wide receiver in fantasy? No. But I believe he can be a boom bust guy. A lot of these guys, boom bust guys, win you championships. All you got to do is go look at your last 4 weeks of your fantasy football championship weeks, and you tell me who was on there that's outside of like a Tyreek Hill or Justin Jefferson. You got a lot of guys on there that probably you won't be able to count on year from year. But they still gave you a boom game. George Pickens balled out in a game. DK Metcalf balled out. These guys are not going to be consistent boom guys every single week, but they can give you the boom. So when you can buy low on a guy like this, you do it. You can get Quinton Johnson probably for a 3rd round pick. Be looking for now. I'm not second round, a late 2nd round pick, middle 2nd round pick. I might do it. I'm not giving up no number 1, and nobody is going to ask you to give up a number 1 for him. So if you can get a 2nd round pick for Quinton Johnson, I would do it. Just depending on where the rookie's going to fit in. If you can get a good rookie that you like, then maybe hold off. But if you're not, then might as well get Quinton Johnson, especially if you already a championship team. Why get a guy that you don't know what he's gonna do when you get a guy like Quinton Johnson and let him develop on your squad, and then you can when he boomed, then you can trade him off. So I like buying low on Quinton Johnson. Moving on, guys, to my number 3 guy. My number 3 guy is Squan Barkley. Now, Squan Barkley ain't gonna be cheap, but you can buy low on him. People don't think he's gonna be an upper echelon guy. So if I got a 111 or 112, I won the championship. This is a guy that I buy low on to try to win another championship this coming up year in 2024. I like Saquon. A lot of you don't think, why you got Saquon over Jahmyr Gibbs? Listen, wherever Saquon is going to play at this point in time of his career, he's going to get 90%, 80% of the carries. It's only 5 guys in the league that's going to get 90% to 80% of the carries in the league. So you got to know what these guys are. That's what I'm talking about when you got to see potential. You might say, you just looking for spaz. Spaz. Do you even know what a guy or a bell cow can be? Even Derrick Henry. I'm not saying Derrick Henry is a bad guy to go buy low. He's not on his video right now, but Derrick Henry, right, guys, is a guy that he could get with the right team and get a lot of goal line touchdowns and win you a fantasy championship. Help win you a fantasy football championship. So Saquon, guys, got about 2 to 3 years left in him, maybe even more because he can catch passes. So if he goes to the right team like a Dallas Cowboys, he's going to get all that goal line work. That's going to be 12 touchdowns. Look at David Montgomery. Who would have thought David Montgomery would have been good like he was for the Detroit Lions? It's the team that he's on. So you got to look at potential. David Montgomery, we know he could break tackles, but he was playing with the Bears. They didn't have no running lanes or anything like that, guys. So I am willing to buy low on Squan Barkley. I'm willing to give up a late first round on him. I might not give up a top 5 pick, but I give up a top 12 pick, like a 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I get it up for Saquon to go ahead and stud my team out for a dynasty win, right? And if you give up 2 seconds, you can kill it. Now, I'm not giving up no more than 1 first or 2 seconds, right? Or maybe even a late first and a late and then a late fourth, right? A late first and a late fourth, like something like that. But it's an opportunity to buy low on him, guys, before he get traded. If he get traded to the right team, everybody gonna want 2 first rounds for him because he's gonna be in a great situation, like the Dallas Cowboys. He might go there. I don't know. I could be biased. All right, moving on to my number 4 guy. My number 4 guy that I believe is a great buy low is Jahan Dotson. Man, that's one of the guys that I was wrong on this year. I said he's better than Terry McLaurin, and I still believe it. Terry McLaurin is a good wide receiver, but I believe Jahan Dotson has more potential and has bigger upside to him. But they didn't use him. That's why I'm not big on Eric Bieniemy. I like Eric Bieniemy. I think he's a good offensive coordinator, but I don't think he's a great head coach. This is my 2 cents. I could be wrong. But Jahan Dotson, guys, I believe going forward, whoever the offensive coordinator is going to be for Dan Quinn is going to hyper target Jahan Dotson. He's a great player. He could put him in the slot outside. He just had Sam Howell, and Sam Howell wasn't feeding him the ball. And when Sam Howell did feed him the ball, he had a couple good games. So I don't know who the quarterback going to be. It could be Caleb Williams. It could be Drake May. We don't know. But they're going to hyper target Jahan Dotson because of his route run. He's the best route run on his team. Terry McLaurin is good too, but Jahan is a little bit better. So I think it's a great time to buy low on Jahan Dotson. You could you can give up a second round pick and get Jahan Dotson. Maybe even less. In some leagues, who knows? But a lot of people might say, man, give me a third. Give me a third and a second. So I'm willing to give up a second. I'm not giving up a first. Not saying that wouldn't be a good move, but that's not what his value is. Don't let nobody make you overpay for the stock right now. Like if a stock is down, you're not going to play optimal for it, right? Even though you know it might go up, don't play optimal for it, right? So right now, I would give up a second round pick for Jahan Dotson. All right, move on to my number 5 guy. This is a guy that a lot of my subscribers, and I understand, don't like this guy, but I do because I know what a guy like this can win you a week. That's why I won. I showed y'all my fantasy football championships. A lot of players that y'all like, I had them on my team and I won. And I drafted Daniel Jones on 70% of those teams that I lost. That I won championships on or lost in the championship game. I won 4 championships and went to 5 championships out of 16 leagues. And that's from Dynasty, Redraft, all different platforms. I'm on 16 leagues, basketball, all of them. And I went to 5 championships. And I was in the playoffs in 7 leagues out of 16. That's pretty good to me. So I like Christian Watson. And the reason why I don't need him to be consistent, now listen, my first 2 picks, I'm looking for boom guys like that is consistent, like Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, CMC. If he fall to me, I'm not taking him in the top 5. I take him at the 1-7 or the 1-8. He might not fall there. I want boom guys that's going to be consistent. But after my first 3 picks, guys, I'm trying to get boom guys that's going to be getting targets. I don't want nobody that's safe. That's how you get beat by the 6th seed or the 5th seed. Look at your number 1 team. He got all those consistent guys. and then he get a guy off the waivers like Christian Watson, and he boom on you, and you want to know why you lost. You lost because you didn't have any guys that had any boom potential. Boom potential wins championships now in PPR leagues. Now, half point leagues and standard alpha guys just get targets, win it most of the time. But in PPR, it's boom leagues, and the game has changed where wide receivers are they pushing the ball downfield for deep plays now. So those George Pickens run people leagues that and if you had George Pickens, you probably beat a team that was better than you. I actually had a subscriber that had a great team, and she did have an injury, but she lost to a guy that he had a guy on the bench that ain't played good all season. He boomed on her, right? And she had a great team. That's why I told her don't worry about it. That's how fantasy happens. There's nothing you can do about this sometimes, but you want to have these guys to protect yourself. So I like Christian Watson to boom, and Jordan Love might not be consistently targeting him 10 times, but when he get those targets, he's going to be a guy that can give you an 80-yard touchdown and maybe 2 touchdowns every other week and can win you those weeks. That's all you need to do. All right, moving on to my number 6 guy, buy low guy. It's going to be Kyle Pitts, for a tight end from the Atlanta Falcons. Listen, like I said, Raheem Morris is going to be a great defensive coordinator, but let's see what the offensive coordinator does from the Atlanta Falcons. Can he get Drake London and Kyle Pitts and B. John Robinson the ball? That's the main thing. Kyle Pitts has plenty of potential. He's a top 5 pick. So I'm taking Kyle Pitts. Now, listen, I'm not taking him over some of the elite tight ends, but he's definitely not going to be on none of my waivers. So I'm taking that boom potential. That's a guy that plays like a wide receiver that's got a tight end position under his name. So he's a tight end, but he gets targets like a wide receiver. So I like Kyle Pitts. Moving on to our number 7 guy. Now listen, it's going to get a little bit chalky here. It's going to get a little bit chalky, and it's going to seem a little bad, like a bad taste in your mouth. Let me give me some water. It's going to be Bryce Young. Yes, you can in a super flex league, you can get Bryce Young. So, guys, you don't got to spend a first round pick. Even in a super flex league, go spend a second, 2 seconds and get Bryce Young if you can afford it. If you can afford it. And just let him sit on your team. Now, if he don't hit, who cares? You spent the second round pick, not a first. You can give up second round picks. Don't give up first round picks for chopped liver. But second round picks, you can take that risk. I'm willing to go and get a Bryce Young and see what happens. And then when he starts playing good, you can get your first back, or you can hold on to him. Just depend on what you want to do. Every quarterback doesn't come out booming immediately. Some guys develop later, right? Look at Drew Brees. Look at Steve Young. Guys develop later in their career. So I would take the risk and the dip on Bryce Young because nobody believes in him right now. So who knows what you can get him for in your league. You're not going to have to spend him first. Moving on to my number 8 guy. This is a wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals, and it's Michael Wilson. Now, I know Marvin Harrison might get drafted there, or another guy might get drafted there, and they also got Trey McBride. But I believe Michael Wilson is a good wide receiver to have, and who knows what he's going to do. And I think you could get him for a 3rd round pick. So why not try to buy low on Michael Wilson? I think he's a good talent. I watched him at Stanford. He's a great route runner. He's tough. He's a big body guy. He just was hurt this year. So this is a guy that you can buy low on for a 3rd round pick. If you are at your rookie draft and you start seeing rookies that you're not really big on, not saying that you can't find a Puka Nacua, you can. But you're like, who is this guy? I'd rather take a chance on Michael Wilson. You can do that. So I like Michael Wilson. Moving on, guys. We got 2 more guys, and I got a bonus guy for you, too. Isaac, what's going on with you, bro? What's going on with you? Travis, what's up, bro? Yes, sir. Always showing support. Still a member. Appreciate that. I am paying attention to guys that are still members throughout the offseason. Not saying you got to be. I'm not going to mistreat you or anything. But this guy, I understand when people are showing me support and they don't have to, right? You can unsubscribe from a member and then hop back on during when fantasy football season is. But either way, guys, I appreciate everybody that tunes in to my lives and my videos. Yes, sir. Let's get the likes up. Thank you, Harambe. Let's get the likes up, guys. So My number 9 guys, Cooper Kupp. If you are a championship team, you could get a second-round pick for Cooper Kupp. And that'll be a great flex play for you. If you could put Cooper Kupp as a flex play, I think that's awesome. I wouldn't try to make him my wide receiver 1, or maybe even not in Dynasty, not even my wide receiver 2. He's a little older. I think Puka Nacua took over this team. Giving shout out to my homie CHB. He always kept telling me Puka. I like Tutu now. Tutu did well, but he didn't do as well as Puka. Puka is the man on that team. But Cooper Kupp is a great buy low right now. If you can get a second-round pick for Cooper Kupp, do it. Second-round pick, that's the most I'm willing to spend on them. That's why none of these guys are really our first-round guys except for Squan Barkley. So, guys, I like Cooper Kupp. Try to buy low on him. I think he could be a great flex play. He could win you a championship. Matthew Stafford is going to have high volume. So he could have 2 top 24 wide receivers on his team because of the volume that he throws, right? With Sean McVay as his offensive coordinator. All right. My last guy before the bonus guy is going to be Zack Charbonnet. Yes, guys, Zack Charbonnet. So listen, Pete Carroll got released. I like Zack Charbonnet because I believe that this team can't trust Kenneth Walker to be a 90% back. So this backfield is going to be split, and also Kenneth get hurt. He gets hurt a lot, right? He get injuries. So I'm willing to go and pick up Zack Charbonnet for a handcuff, and he could end up being like a top 12 running back because Kenneth Walker go down. Also to get targets in the red zone and get catches because Kenneth Walker is not a great pass catching running back. So Zack Charbonnet right now for a second-round pick, I'm willing to do that. And I think you can get a second-round pick for Zack Charbonnet. So remember, you try to stash as many as young or fertile, no pun intended, running backs that you can have on your team because you never know who's going to be the starter in your fantasy football playoffs. That's what is. That's why I like Hero RB, and also Isaac. He's the same way. He said he likes to try to do Hero RB, then draft as many running backs late as he can to see who's going to hit. And I agree with that strategy. I love that strategy. I'm trying to stash my team with a lot of running backs. I had Raheem Mostert this year on my team. And the reason why I had him because I was just drafting running backs to see who. I don't know who was going to hit. So I had Raheem Mostert, Jerome Ford. I was just drafting a lot of backup guys at that point in time after I had already went receiver heavy, right? And so that's what I believe in Zack Charbonnet. I believe he could be a guy, and you could be in week 7, and he could end up being the number 1 running back for Seattle and can win you a championship. So I like Zack Charbonnet. All right, guys. My bonus guy, thank y'all for watching the whole live. My bonus guy is Trevor Lawrence. Now, people are still going to be hard on Trevor because he's hit some heights. Would I give up a 111, 112 for Trevor? Yes, I would. If I had Josh Allen, but my next best quarterback was maybe Brock Purdy, I would try to go get somebody like Trevor Lawrence. Listen, Brock Purdy is good, but if the 49ers can find a better quarterback has more elite talent, they willing to go get him. They don't think Brock Purdy is going to win them multiple championships, but he can win one championship and they can move on from him like Baltimore did with Trent Dilfer. Brock Purdy is a good quarterback, but he's not a phenom. And when I say phenom, I use that word a lot, but that's basically a guy like a Trevor Lawrence, a 6'6" guy that can throw from the pocket. So Trevor Lawrence, I'm willing to give up a first-round pick with him, maybe 110, 111, 112. I'm not I'd rather take him over probably right now. Now, I could change over Drake May. Not Caleb Williams, but Drake May and some of these other guys, Jalen Daniels, I might rather take Trevor Lawrence. He's still young. He's still got a lot of time. He got a lot of developing to do. Quarterback, it takes quarterbacks a while sometimes, and it's okay. So I'm willing to take Trevor Lawrence. I like Trevor Lawrence's talent. So he's a great buy low for me. All right. Racky, what's up, bro? I see you, Punch. I see you on Instagram. I saw you, bro. Yes, sir. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate you. Isaac says, only thing is I hate dropping backup guys. I do too when there's a hot pick on waivers. Right. But, you can't give up a Kyle Williams. You got to go for Kyle Williams. You got to take an opportunity. You can't listen. And I say this, Isaac, and I say this, no pun intended to any ladies that's watching this video or anybody, no disrespect, but you can't sleep with every woman. Like in your bachelor days, you can't be with every woman in the world. You can't be with Margot Robbie, Holly Berry, even the goats in Hollywood that got all the money. They can't be with every single lady. They can be with a nice amount of them, and I don't mean no disrespect, but you can't be with everybody. So you have to go real and say, well, okay, well, this is gonna be the girl that I like, and I like this girl, and I like this, and I'm gonna date these 3 women for the next 5-6 years. That's fine. Maybe you can date all 20 women that you found beautiful at work or found beautiful at your colleague or wherever, right? So you got to drop somebody sometimes to go get a player that can end up being great. So if you see a woman with wife material, you might have to get off a woman that's great at a lot of stuff. You know what I'm talking about? No pun intended. You might say, you know what? This ain't gonna get me anywhere. This woman right here, I can see her taking care of my kids, and you go and pick and get her. Right. So if you see Kyron Williams out there and you got Jerome Ford and you ain't got nobody else that you can drop, you might have to drop Jerome Ford to go get Kyron Williams. And if it don't work out, guess what? Keep it moving. That it might come back around. Jerome Ford might be something that you can go and ride out with, and he might hit for you a couple times, like he did in the fantasy football championships in the playoffs. Yes, sir, Racky. Yes, sir. He said early season gas. Yes, sir. Harambe says, I have Quinton Johnson, Burks, and Charbonnet, bro. That's what I'm talking about, Harambe. And listen, guys, I will be having some listener leagues this year, some best ball listener leagues. So y'all want to make sure you got to be a member to get on these. You got to be a Pro Bowl or higher to get in some of these leagues. And the higher tier that you in, the more that you in. And if you want to get in these leagues and you're not a member, you still can, but you're going to have to pay an entry fee. But there's no entry fee for you if you are a member. And you got to be a member for more than 1 month. I'm not going to let anybody. Well, I don't know. I think I'm just going to be where you're just going to have to stay signed up while you're in the league. And once the league is over, once fantasy football season is over, you can not be a member and, you still get your prizes. But you have to stay on as a member. Guys, make sure you sign up as my best ball leagues. I'm going to be doing some best ball leagues, and I might do one dynasty startup, probably for my Phenom crews. You got to be a part of the Phenom crew to get in these dynasty leagues. Isaac says, almost just as important who do drop and maybe pick him up later if you can. Right. Correct. So, but listen, don't think like it's just like a relationship. When you break up with somebody, don't dread on it. Don't dread on it if she end up marrying Garth Brooks or the richest man in the world. Who cares? You don't look behind that way. Now, some things I believe that you have to fix in your life that may be in the past that you need to fix to make yourself better, but not when you break up with in a relationship manner. And this is for men and women. Same thing. Women will tell you the same thing. They're not worried about a man that they broke up with. You better not, because you're always going to be looking back. So same thing with fantasy. When you drop somebody, don't worry about what they're going to do, because you had to drop them. You made the assessment. You live and die with it. Occam razor. Make it simple. Keep moving. That's what Occam, and I'm gonna do a lot of videos. I'm gonna start talking about Occam razor. Just make moves. Don't try to overthink it. Make it simple. Fantasy is simple once you make your assessments. Your assessment or how you're gonna go down with the ship may be the hardest thing. Okay, I chose this guy. This is it. Once you make that decision, everything else is simple. Yep. And then, like you said, he said, yeah, maybe maybe pick him up later if you can. Right. You can pick him back up. Cutting edge. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, guys. So I'm gonna read this list off one more time before we get out of here. It's going to be number 1 is Traylor Burs. Number 2 is Quinton Johnson. Number 3 is Squan Barkley. Number 4 is Jahan Dotson. Number 5 is Christian Watson. Number 6 is Kyle Pitts. Number 7 is Bryce Young. Number 8 is Michael Wilson. Number 9 is Cooper Kupp. And number 10 is Zack Charbonnet. And my bonus guy is Trevor Lawrence. There you go. Process and principle. It's the principle of it. Occam razor. Keep it simple. If you drop somebody, move forward. You can't be perfect on every single thing. You just got to be moving forward, trying to get the best player available. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. All right, guys. Thank everybody who's tuning in. We got 11 people. Let's see how many likes we got. We need to have 11 likes. Let's get the likes up. We got 5 likes, guys. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. All right, guys. I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Y'all be safe. Peace.
Turn me up. Now they say they want that country shit. Okay, now turn me up. Now they see I be that energy. I make them turn me up. Yeah, I know they trying to finish me, but it just turn me up. Okay, turn me up, yeah. I'm like Block Boy, look alive, look alive. I'm married to that money and I keep her by my side. They thought I wouldn't be shit, so why they face look so surprised. You ain't a real nigga, you just pussy in the sky. Whoa, yeah, look at a nigga now. When I put up to the jeweler, I'ma tell that nigga gon' bust it down. Tryna count the money. Damn, homie, I done lost track of their mind. Turn me up, this that hot shit. It was kinda looking like a drought. I don't do this for the clout, bitch. Okay, turn me up. Do your dance on it. She ain't tryna fuck unless you got some bands on it. Okay, turn me up. Do your dance on it. She ain't tryna fuck unless you got some racks on it. Okay, turn me up. They don't wanna smoke, I'm in my bag.